The 2002 Olympics may be forever tainted by this scandal.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most controversial Olympic wins or judges' decisions.
But really, when you look back over the Olympic history of U.S. basketball, the biggest disappointment came in 1972, the greatest controversy perhaps in the history of all organized basketball.
For this list, we're looking at Olympic outcomes that sparked scandals, public outcries, and major backlash. Which Olympic win did you find the most shocking? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Anders Haugen's Overdue medal, Chamonix, France. Excluding art competitions, Oscar Schwan became the oldest Olympian to win a medal at age 72. To a certain extent, you could argue that ski jumper Anders Haugen has Schwan beat, receiving a bronze medal at age 86. The thing is, Haugen actually earned his medal 50 years earlier when he was in his mid-30s. You see, Haugen finished third in ski jumping, but due to a clerical error, Torleif Haug was awarded the bronze medal. Although Haugen had his suspicions, many thought that he came in fourth for 5 decades. That is, until historian Jakob Voga realized that Haugen exceeded Haug by 0.095 points. In September 1974, Haug's youngest daughter met Haugen in Norway, where she finally presented him with the bronze. Number 9. Protest on the parallel bars, Athens, Greece. A 9.9 is nothing to scoff at. If South Korean gymnast Young Tae-young had scored 0.1 more on the parallel bars, though, he might have walked away with gold rather than bronze.
Takes that razor-thin opening and nails it. 2 South Koreans, Kim Dae-un and Yang Tae-young, also on the medal stand with the silver and bronze.
Many felt he should have gotten a perfect score, so much so that the Korean Olympic Committee protested along with Young. The International Gymnastics Federation, or FIG, concluded that there was indeed an error, leading to the suspension of 3 judges. However, FIG refused to alter the outcome because they waited too long to file the protest. Although an appeal was entered, American Paul Hamm ultimately retained the gold, while Young's teammate, Kim Dae-yeon, followed with silver.
Well, that's why we're all here, to keep the medal, and hopefully after this is all done with, the medal will stay with me.
12 years later, Young said, quote, "I want to go back in time and try again." Number 8. Boxing backlash, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Olympic scoring can get needlessly complex. Take the 2016 boxing tournaments, for example. Under a new set of rules, 5 judges participated, but a computer randomly picked only 3 scores. Then, instead of simply counting each punch, each round's winner received 10 points while the loser received a lower score.
For Vasily Levitt of Kazakhstan against the gold medal favorite from Russia, Evgeny Tishenko. In the red, the Russian.
Through this controversial system, Vasily Levitt lost the men's heavyweight to Evgeny Tishenko, while Michael Conlon lost the men's bantamweight quarterfinal to Vladimir Nikitin.
The winner.
Here we go.
Unanimous decision.
Here we go. It has to be Conlon, you. Surely, Michael Conlon.
In the blue.
Oh my goodness.
While disappointed, Levitt took the loss in stride, gesturing the audience not to boo Tishenko at the medal ceremony. Conlon gave the judges a more insulting gesture, calling the International Boxing Association, or AIBA, corrupt.
My dream's been shattered now, but you know what? I have a big career ahead of me, and these they're known for being cheats, and they'll always be cheats. Amateur boxing stinks, from the core right to the top.
Many agreed the scores were manipulated, and although AIBA would make changes, the outcomes remain the same. Number 7. Trouble on the Ice, Nagano, Japan. More than a few people got the cold shoulder at the 1998 Winter Olympics. Days after winning gold at the men's giant slalom competition, snowboarder Ross Rebliati got disqualified thanks to a positive marijuana test.
Just 72 hours after Ross's gold medal run, the sweet taste of victory turned sour.
The results of the testing of sample A revealed the presence of marijuana metabolites.
Figure skating also attracted controversy when Yuri Balkov, a judge from Ukraine, was accused of rigging the competition. Gene Senft, a Canadian judge, claimed that Balkov offered to show favoritism to Canada. In exchange, Belkov asked Senft to vote for the Ukrainian skaters. Senft recorded the conversation, leading to Belkov's suspension. Canada would ultimately place 4th in figure skating that year. Despite the scandal, Belkov would be back to judge figure skating at the 2002 Winter Olympics, where Canada came in 3rd in overall figure skating medals.
And guess who's back on the judging panel? Yuri Belkov, who served a 1-year suspension for his actions.
Number 6. 400-meter walkover, London, United Kingdom. If you're an American visiting the UK, you might pick up on a few little differences. For example, French fries are known as chips, and potato chips are called crisps. At the 1908 Summer Olympics, American runner John Carpenter found that the U.S. rules for the men's 400-meter race aren't identical to the British guidelines. Carpenter used a maneuver to stop British runner Wyndham Halswell from getting ahead of him.
Whilst attempting to overtake on the outside, Halswell was pushed wide and stopped from taking the lead.
Although this move was legal back in the States, the British opposed it, and Carpenter was disqualified. A re-race was ordered, but American runners William Robbins and John Taylor refused to compete in protest.
The following day, a rerun would take place, with Carpenter disqualified and the other 2 Americans withdrawing in protest.
This left Halswell to claim the gold, resulting in the Olympics' first and only walkover. Number 5. Mysterious person in black, Grenoble, France. Everyone was talking about French alpine ski racer Jean-Claude Killy at the 1968 Winter Olympics. Part of that is because Killy achieved 3 gold medals, dominating every alpine event.
The biggest triumph, however, came a year after, when he won 3 gold medals at the Grenoble Olympics.
However, one of Killy's victories was challenged by Karl Schranz, an Austrian rival. Schranz claimed that a mysterious figure clouded in darkness passed in front of him on the course, forcing him to stop. Schranz was thus allowed to race again, this time beating Killy. Shortly after, though, it was discovered that Schranz missed a couple of gates, resulting in his disqualification. Despite Schranz's appeal, Killy's status as a 3-time gold medalist was restored. As for the stranger that Schranz supposedly saw on the slopes, that remains one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in Olympic history. Number 4. Greatest athlete denied his medals, Stockholm, Sweden. From the Associated Press to King Gustav V of Sweden, many described Jim Thorpe as the world's greatest athlete during his lifetime.
The game's closing ceremonies, King Gustav V famously told Thorpe, "Sir, you are the greatest athlete in the world," to which Thorpe reportedly replied, "Thanks, King."
So it shouldn't come as a surprise that Thorpe won 2 gold medals in the pentathlon and decathlon. In due course, Thorpe became the first Native American to bring home the gold for the U.S.
10 events covering every form of track and field competition.
Unfortunately, he was stripped of these victories because he had played professional baseball before competing in the Olympics.
The International Olympic Committee promptly stripped him of his medals, removed his name from the official record, and refused him the opportunity to defend himself.
Thorpe passed away in 1953, but in 1982, the IOC Executive Committee overturned his disqualification. It was argued that Thorpe had been disqualified after the 30-day time limit. Replicas of the medals were given to his children, and Thorpe was deemed a co-winner with Hugo Wieslander and Ferdinand Bille. Number 3. Figure skating judging system, Salt Lake City, Utah, United States. The 2002 Winter Olympics had no shortage of scandals. Salt Lake City was accused of bribery to host the Olympics after 4 previous attempts.
There are allegations the city won the Winter Games for the year 2002 by bribing some members of the International Olympic Committee.
American Apollo Ono received backlash from South Korea after a confrontation with Kim Dong-sung resulted in his disqualification. However, few competitions inspired more controversy than figure skating. While Jamie Salé and David Peltier of Canada seem to have it in the bag, Russia's Elena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikharilitsa beat them out.
They won that program.
2s and 4 number 1s.
They won that program. There's not a doubt anyone in the place except for maybe a few judges. That will be debated forever.
Second place.
After many TV commentators criticized this outcome, Judge Marie-Reine Legun of France claimed that she had been pressured to award Russia. Although Lagun later backtracked on her claims, the IOC ultimately decided to grant gold medals to both pairs.
David Peltier and Jamie Celeb will get a gold medal for pairs figure skating. The stunning announcement came today, along with the news that the French judge at the center of the scandal has been suspended.
The ISU judging system saw a revamp shortly after. Number 2. Roy Jones Jr. gets robbed. Seoul, South Korea. American boxer Roy Jones Jr. was on fire at the 1988 Summer Olympics. Although the future world champion was only a newcomer at the time, he didn't lose a single match leading up to the final, where he went up against South Korea's Park Ji-hun.
And if he drops his hand, it's because he learned it at the foot of the master.
3 rounds later, Jones got in 86 punches, while Park only landed 32. So naturally, Park was declared the victor. Wait, what? Yeah, even Park was supposedly caught off guard, seeing the need to apologize to Jones.
The bout ended. Was there any doubt in your mind that you had won the fight?
No, there was no doubt at all. I knew I had won the fight. I won all 3 rounds clearly.
As referee Aldo Leone held up Park's hand, he reportedly muttered to Jones, quote, "I can't believe they're doing this to you." The 3 judges that denied Jones the gold were suspended after one admitted that Park shouldn't have won.
South Korea's last Olympic boxing champion still sighs in pain when his gold medal is brought up.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Cold War on the basketball court. Munich, Bavaria, West Germany. From 1936 to 1972, the U.S. men's basketball team maintained a perfect track record, with 7 consecutive gold medals and not a single loss. Many would argue that they should have had 8 straight victories.
The greatest controversy perhaps in the history of all organized basketball. Never been a more controversial game than the gold medal contest in Munich in 1972.
Facing off against the Soviet Union during the finals, Doug Collins seemingly secured America the win, following a second free throw with just 3 seconds left on the clock.
He was the 3rd leading scorer in the nation. This place goes insane.
After the Soviets were controversially given 3 inbound plays, though, the U.S. team lost at 51-50. With the 1972 games taking place in Munich and Cold War tensions rising, many argued that there was a bias against America.
The Americans immediately filed a protest, which wasn't resolved till the following day when a 5-man jury voted 3-2 to deny the appeal. All 3 negative votes coming from Eastern Bloc nations.
The U.S. team felt that they had been robbed, refusing to accept their silver medals, which remain locked up in Switzerland.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.